high school, not much changed. School was good. I got roped into many projects by my father at church. Saturday mornings we used to have breakfast, and he would often say, I'm going to do this today, whatever the project was. If he said we went down to the church, did the project, he would work with us. If he said, we're going to do this, well, he'd start it, and my brothers and I would do the project. So we always were listening to what words he used to describe the project that we were going to do. But pleasing, I just went along and did those things. I participated in sports, music, and other extracurricular activities. But my faith was still a doubting Thomas. I really didn't understand because it didn't fit the mold that I saw my life and put everything in order. I started my college at Michigan Tech. For those that are like Michigan, this is the Lower Peninsula and this is the Upper Peninsula. You got your map with you here. It's up here in the Keweenaw Peninsula. It sticks into Lake Superior. It was a long ways from home, and certainly everyone, I think, that goes off to college, there's always that transition and dealing with the new reality. It was cold, and I decided I didn't want to spend 4 years up here, so I decided in the middle of the year that I would at least transfer to the University of Michigan the next fall. Things were good for me in terms of I had professors for classes that really helped me out that freshman year, that my oldest brother, who went to the University of Michigan, only got graduate students teaching some of those courses. So there's certainly, I was trying to look at the positive things. However, I felt that, okay, I had a problem, and I solved it. It's all about me, myself, and I. I don't need help. I can do it myself. At Christmas time, my senior year, the stress of finishing school and finding a job was weighing on me heavily. This was about the time of the last big recession. So, okay, are there jobs out there? Yeah, I'm going to find something that I enjoy doing. Well, during the Christmas Eve service, I took communion. We had communion at the rail. I did it in a more intentional manner. Give myself to Jesus. Ask for His help. I'm sure that it helped, but there was no epiphany. There was no words of wisdom, some message to me that, everything was going to be okay. But I managed to find a job, and things went well. And life moved on. So through my 20s and into my early 30s, the usual life things occurred. Weddings, funerals, births. All seemed good and ordinary process of moving through life. And as I got to my early 30s, my father reached his retirement, and we had a party for him. There's a place in Canada we go and see plays at Stratford in Ontario, and they had a lot of Shakespeare plays there and other things that we enjoyed doing. However, when we had that meeting, we actually got some word that he had an angiogram that showed some significant blockage, and my family history was heart disease. So we were concerned about that, but he decided to treat that with some medicine and diet, and that was how he was going to try to reverse that problem. About 6 months later, after starting a job just about a week before that, I received a call that my father had a heart attack, and he was in the hospital, and they were talking about open heart surgery. Normally, my logical side would say, well, I just started a job, how can I possibly take some time to go back from California to Michigan? So my emotional side said, you need to go. no discussion. So I went back, we spent some time with him in the hospital, and he was unafraid of the surgery that was coming. And my brothers and I went off to play some volleyball so that my mother could have some time with him. This was a Sunday evening with the surgery scheduled for Monday morning. Well, after the volleyball, my sister-in-law, who's a nurse at the University of Michigan Hospital, had kind of told us some things that there were some concerns that she had and about the surgery and what was to come. So that night I was trying to fall asleep, and I tossed, and I turned. Could have been half an hour, could have been an hour. It was a long time. And all of a sudden, there was a peace that descended upon me. It was clear to me that it was God's peace. Unlike anything I had ever experienced in my life. And I immediately fell asleep. I had the sense that everything would be okay. The next day I was ready to go out of the hospital for the surgery. Unfortunately, the surgery didn't go as well as expected because he had more heart damage than thought before they started that. The doctor didn't give us much hope. At that point, figured he'd last a couple hours. As it turned out, he lasted about 6 weeks. And there were many difficult times dealing with that. But in those days, I returned back and listened. I would meditate. And I felt like an empty pitcher, but that was filled up with cool water until I was overflowing. This is the Memorial Garden, one of the churches that my father served. His ashes were interred there. He actually made the sculpture that was there. The hand raised to God. For me, this experience was transformational. Even though in our human experience, I think the definition of everything's going to be okay wasn't what we would have said was okay. But I believe that God has a plan, and that was undoubtedly part of that plan. So, I'm still in my journey. However, I'm no longer a doubting Thomas. Perhaps the biggest change is that I'm no longer concern myself that I cannot experience God in a normal human manner. I think the message is try to keep listening. I'm sure at times I wasn't listening, other times I tried to listen, but that He will be there. And I hope that those of you who might be doubting Thomases out there will keep trying to listen, because I'm sure He will come to you when you need it the most. I have experienced His peace, and He was there during the dark days, running my father's illness and passing. I will never have to put my hand in Jesus' side to believe. Amen.
Amen.